About things going on in the world around us. Oscars 2018. We'll just put this straight up front. The Oscars in 2018 were the least watched Oscars of all time. 6.5 million less people watched it this year than last year, and last year was the previous record setter for being the least watched. Of course, day after, there's a big uproar in conservative media outlets saying, like, look, no one cares about the Oscars. The social justice aspect of it is making people not want to watch. So here's my response to that. I'll talk about the social justice stuff first. I didn't find it too bad this year. There was a couple things here and there, but it wasn't as bad as other years. But here's why people aren't watching from a television expert. People aren't watching this. People aren't watching TV anymore. No one's watching. So if you watch that, if you look at the data between 18 and 25, which is the target demographic for television, the most ideal demographic that mass media has decided to sell to, 85% of people in that age group get 90% of their mass media from mobile devices. And those kids are with that data, are in college now, and they're not getting cable packages. They're staying on Netflix and YouTube, and that's one of the major reasons why people aren't watching Oscars. Not because people necessarily tune out because of the social justice-y stuff. About the social justice-y stuff, it wasn't necessarily the monologues or the speeches about that bothered me. Rather, it's the nominees that continue to bother me. The Academy of Motion Picture Sciences was created in order to inspire people to make better movies and help connect people to the best in the business when it comes to the aesthetic of cinema regarding things such as cinematography, editing, and performances. However, somewhere down the line in the 90s, I think, things changed course and became more about social justice. And also became a big circle jerk. That's right, I just called it. Oscars are now a big circle jerk. And I call it that not because they're patting themselves on the back for doing a good job, because that's part of it, but actually there's a really political system within the Oscars that kind of makes it super predictable. If I put money down on every category in the Oscars, I would have made like $100 bet per category. I would have come out with like $2,000 yesterday because I got every single category. Not necessarily because the best movies won, because they should have, but actually because it's super predictable how they operate. I knew Lady in the Water, or whatever it's called, was going to win Best Picture because this was Guillermo del Toro's Training Day victory. A lot of people don't know what I mean. Training Day, it was when Denzel Washington won Best Actor. But Denzel Washington did not deserve Best Actor for Training Day. He deserved Best Actor for a previous year he was snubbed for, losing out to an actor who was retiring that year. Guillermo del Toro should have won in like 2009 for Pan's Labyrinth, when I think the Hurt Locker won. When the whole Avatar fiasco happened with him and his ex-wife. And I'll just say it, Guillermo del Toro, although has an awesome vision and makes really aesthetically pleasing pictures, doesn't get great performances. And the director category is often reserved for people who get the best performances. Directors who pull the best performances from their cast. Who should have won Best Picture or Best Director this year? You know what? Honestly, maybe Jordan Peele. He made a weird picture, but he pulled some amazing performances out of that. But here's the political reason. He is a first-time director. And first-time directors, even Orson Welles with Citizen Kane, often considered to be the best picture of all time, don't win Best Director. So, on to other things I feel about, and this is important. Aside from the circle jerk and the stupid political things they're dealing with, there's two things I really have to talk about. First, the snubs. Best Picture snubs. There were 9 movies nominated for Best Picture, and honestly, I think most of them didn't deserve to be there. One of them in particular was the Daniel Day-Lewis picture. That's nominated for Best Picture because Daniel Day-Lewis, and it was a terrible movie that was like an incomplete picture. Other ones that should not have been nominated, in my opinion, the movie, I forget what it's called, pardon me, but it's a picture about the 35-year-old, or the 30-year-old man dating the 17-year-old boy, and that's when I get to, like, okay, this is like social justice stuff. Because it's like the Brokeback Mountain factor. And the Oscars will select movies that are about, like, social justice-y stuff. And those social justice-y things never win. 2007 was the year Brokeback Mountain was nominated, and it was being presented as the winner that year. But what won in 2007? Crash, the lowest rated best winner in the history of Oscars. Oscars continue to do that, and when they do that, best winning pictures don't get picked, or nominees that should exist don't get picked. And in my opinion, Coco should have been nominated for Best Picture. I think Coco is the best, one of the top 5 best Pixar movies of all time, because you have what is possibly the best coming-of-age story we've been told since probably Harry Potter. Because you have a boy who comes to understand the meaning of family and what it means to be a man and make hard choices in a children's film that is hugely emotional and completely melancholy as well. Not get nominated because you have to nominate a movie that is terrible, first off. A couple movies that are terrible. The Daniel Day-Lewis movie was terrible, and then the movie with the gay 30-year-old and the gay 17-year-old, which is terrible, looks terrible, and has just weird elements, and is just terribly written. And then you have the Billboard movie, which, why? I don't even know. And then, like, was it the Tonya Harding movie? I guess there were great performances in that. I haven't seen it. But the Oscars are getting progressively more and more picking of terrible movies because they're around social justice elements, and it's killing it. It's killing it for me. I personally was a cinema and television major, and I still have a passion for. I work in television, so I still have a passion for any form of media that involves the production process, and I'm seeing it die in the vine, and literally its life support are these Hollywood blockbusters, which are also consistently snubbed. There's the weird political thing about taking out ads, and that's why James Bond wasn't nominated for many, many, many years, because he always had Rolex, and he drove an Aston Martin, and Marvel films have Audis, So there is that, and the Black Panther is not going to be nominated for Best Picture next year. It shouldn't be, but if it were, it couldn't because they have Lexus. And yeah, I think what's going to happen next year, since it's on a Sunday, it's not really a problem. It's not taking up any major television blocks. Since it's a Sunday, we're going to see the Oscars until television goes off the air, and that's just what's going to happen. But what you will start seeing is a decline in audience progressively in television, more and more and more the longer we go into this new technological era where people consume media on their phones and don't get cable at home. Even if the Oscars are on network and like the Super Bowl's on network, it doesn't matter because people aren't even plugging cable into the back of their TVs. Why would they do that? It's another thing that they're gonna have to pay for because the cable companies are packaging everything nowadays. So the Oscar decline in audience isn't entirely because people are just tired of the social justice aspect. It's just often every year now. It's just movies that you don't recognize, and that's frustrating. That's it for me, guys. If you watched this so far, thanks for bearing with me. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't know what I'm going to respond to next. Hopefully nothing too serious. And have a good one. Bye.